Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our new episode, my new episode, of Bryce Talks. I hope you had a good day today, and hopefully everything was all good. I hope it was good. So, what we got things to tell you guys today? Well, that's all only here on this show, so stick around and listen for some awesome things. Now, let's get started. Okay, so I got 52 subscribers. I got 52 subscribers yesterday because on Friday I checked on my account and I noticed I had 52 subscribers, and boy, I'm growing fast like than ever before. I think this is the most month that got me the most subscribers than any month before, honestly, because all the other months I still got subscribers, but not massive, like all the other months. Like, some months I got less subscribers than most months, and this month I believe this. I believe that it was the most day that I got the most subscribers this month. From the day I was in the career exploration camp for 2 weeks in school for the summer, and I still gained a lot of subscribers from July 8th to the 20th. So I don't know when the day I started to get more subscribers. I think it was Wednesday when the subscribers really kept coming really quickly. And I thought, man, this is awesome. And then sooner or later, we got up to 52. Anyways, before I get to my main topic, I wanted to tell you that when Mom and Dad came home, back home, this happens all the time. I always have my mom and dad listen to my transmitter, because I was on the air on 92.7 on my transmitter, and I was playing some grounded videos, and when she drove home, they both drove home along with my sister. Yes, I was playing some grounded videos like Caillou, like where he starts a party in school with fireworks and he gets grounded. And then we did a drive test again. Now, these are tons of drive tests because every day it's different. This time it only went from Spangler Road, which probably is the shortest we've ever done. And it's probably cloudy, but it's way better than going from my cul-de-sac. That was really bad. And of course, we got some footage for you. So I'll play a clip. I'll play a video. It's about a minute long, not too long. So, anyways, here's this little clip or video that Mom took. Roll the clip.
How big is the lunch? Alright, Bryce, we're coming up on the part here pretty soon. Let's see if we're going to start coming in today. It's kind of cloudy. Passing the park now. Still not coming in.
No, it was not. Stop by Elford.
Is it Ralph has enough?
I did this run because this game was getting very boring.
Oh, that's good. You're coming in, Bryce. We're at Spangler Road. So about a quarter of a mile from the house, probably, or half a mile.
That's it. You are getting the entire next school year in attention.
Oh, hello! Caillou, how dare you throw a party at school? That's it. You are grounded for the whole summer. Go to your room now.
That was scary. Why can't you run over
This following
geese?
Rosie gets grounded episode was
Because it's wrong. You can't run over
weeks.
It's illegal.
Shouldn't run over any.
Enjoy the show.
It's time for you to go to school, and we don't want to hear you talk back to us or else you're grounded. Oh, I'm...
Why is that my plant doing very...
So, that's the video. Now, by that video, you probably remember that video because he says, K-I-U, how did you start a party at school? That's it. You're grounded till the whole summer. Go to your room now. I'm not exactly sure the whole title of that video, but you can check it out in my Grounded Videos playlist. But anyway, 3 more days. This is our topic that I'm really going to discuss. 3 more days until it's 2 years since I've started Bryce Talk Show, or Bryce Talks, however you would want to say it. Now, I'll tell you the story, even though I have my timeline story about it on YouTube, but since I'm doing a talk show, I'm going to explain this whole entire history, so that everyone can understand where this show first started, okay? Alright, so, I know you might think it's crazy because I remember when it started, but on the 31st of July, 2016, once upon a time, now this is a true story. Now, I didn't know what else I would do, so I decided, I'm going to do something different to make a different kind of video. So I made a video, and I called it Bryce Talks, or Bryce, my first and last name, which I'm not going to say, Talks. BB Talks. We'll just say that's what it is. But I know the full name that I used to call it, but I'm not going to say it for this. But anyway, now we first used to start this. Oh, what the heck was that? It scared me a little bit. Sorry, I heard that noise and that scared me. I think someone made a noise in the shower. I was going to say that scared me for a little bit. Anyway, so I started this show, and back then we discussed some basic topics. Back then I discussed a lot of things. Go animate the retirement of the old features and the migration of Flash into HTML5. Now, I discussed all about that and why it stank that stuff were removed. Some episodes I was talking about how I wish I was on YouTube because my parents, they just thought I wasn't ready for YouTube until I had to say, hey, how about if I disable the comments on my videos, because then you won't be worrying about what other people say. And I know that might be kind of crazy, but with these type of people, you don't want to know. But anyway, back to the story. And then, sometimes I would talk about Ryan, who recently graduated high school in 2017. And I talked about that half of October and September of 2016. And sometimes I would talk about the helium balloon launches I've done. There's a lot of things I'd talk about. Now, if I still had some of the episodes, I wouldn't publish them all because some of them are 5 minutes or 4 minutes. Maybe I might if I still had them, I would probably publish them all, but I don't know. But if I did have them all, I would probably say in the description, this episode was taken in yada 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 of 2016. And that way people wouldn't be like, hey, is this, you just had a talk show episode the same day. And speaking of the talk show, I used to make more than one episode because I used to put my videos in iCloud photo sharing. For those of you who don't know, iCloud photo sharing, it's a photo sharing album feature where you can share photos and videos to whoever you want and invite a group of people. Now, keep in mind that I always keep the public website feature on because so people can see it, and also because some people, parts of my family, do not have an Apple device. Well, they might have an Apple device, they might not have an Apple iCloud account, or some people might have an Android and they can't get to iCloud photo sharing. So that's a few reasons why I would have the public website on. And that's why I have my other shared out, my year-old Bryce the Powtoon Maker photo sharing album. But anyway, yeah, the videos were not as fun as they are now. Mainly because there was nothing added. There's no music. There was no intros. Of course, it's fun to listen to me talk, but I'm sure for most people it would be fun if they had like an intro. And the reason why I didn't really add much intros in iCloud was because these episodes, you know, it'd be like in waste. Because I'd probably only make 4-minute videos. Because if I made more than 4-minute videos, you know, you'd only get a half sample of the episode. You know, and that probably wouldn't be fair to everyone. So I try to keep it short for the time being. And then when I downloaded, when I got Splice, editor by GoPro, I found that you could share an unlisted link, which has no time limit, for making videos, which led me to make longer videos, including talk shows and etc. And keep in mind, I still didn't have YouTube at the time, so, well, I had my cousin upload my own videos, besides my talk shows, but anyway, then I started doing longer episodes. So this means I could add a little bit more stuff into it, and including probably more intros and logos. Just whatever I need to make the show really good. And then, time flew by, and I kept on making more episodes. And I talked about more things. I still discussed Go Animate some more because I felt like it was a good topic to discuss, because I thought the Go Animate staff and the others needed to be talked about as much as I needed. And speaking of Go Animate, they changed their name to Beyond back in May 6th because they went on maintenance. But anyway, now that's what I discussed, and I still discussed a little bit about Ryan these days. Not much, but sometimes I did, but in other cases, it was just about another thing. And then, time flew by again, and I started doing more episodes. And one time I did an episode where I was talking on the walkie-talkie. And if you want to view that video, go to one of my recent talk show episodes. I might have a link in the description to that video on GoPro Splice. I think it might be on talk show episode 13 or 12. Season 1, episode 12 or 13. I think it might be 13. I don't know. I have to check. But it has some links to it and everything. So, but then when I started YouTube, really changed everything because, you know, it meant more professional for me for stuff like that, and more fun stuff to be discussed and everything else. And personally, I thought that was kind of good because I could, you know, do all this stuff finally. But I didn't do talk show episodes, just did. But I did discuss many things. But I also did, like I said, I still did balloon releases and all that jazz. So, this is really when it came to when I really thought, you know, the episodes turned out really good because of the intros and the very beginning and end. I would always choose a maybe shorter, quiet intro so that way people would understand what I'm saying. Sometimes it's hard to do that because you try to want to select the mood of what you want, but you really don't know. So you have to try to figure that out. And then I started using Mariachi Snooze by Kevin MacLeod, which is also used in this video in the very beginning of the video, and for quite a bit of my other talk shows. Because it's like it's a 50-second song. And while I'm talking, it'll be a really good intro because some of the intros are loud, and unless I use iMovie because Splice is hard to change the volume. And then another thing I discussed was what the radio would do when you put it on a weak channel and turn it off, and it would make random sound effects and different things, which is still being experimented, but nothing really happens these days because it's so improved. And there were so many things that were discussed these past few years. Everything was discussed. One day I was exploring Windows 10, and that was on episode 15. And then then, and I think that was in season 7. And then, I mean, there's so many things I discussed. And then I discussed the Ivona voices being removed on March 31st of last year. And yeah, there's like so many things that I've discussed. And, you know, I like that because, you know, it's kind of fun to listen to. And I like to listen to my playlist. I made a playlist just for this show on YouTube, so you can check it out. It's called The Bryce Talk Show, so you can view all my episodes I've done. Just about every episode I've done, I put in the playlist. So, and then, when I started doing live streaming, I decided to go live and do a live episode, because I thought it'd be kind of cool to go live and do it, because it's like you're broadcasting live. So I decided it'd be nice if I would do that.
Viewfinder, 10 minutes.
I mean, think about how fun that'd be. But in good facts, it's been an interesting 2 years with my show episodes and things I've done. And then, as you know, in 2018, there's also things I've discussed, including different things. Now, there are different updates that I do time to time for my show. Like, in 2016, I decided to make a new part where I sang the songs and make different words to them. I don't do that much, but then... And then for this year, I make updates to where if there's something going on, I show video clips, just like from my transmitter tests and different things, that I might show videos from the events that happened. So that way people can get a glance of what goes on. And that's pretty much the long say. And then sometimes I discuss text-to-speech and different YouTube channels and different things. So there's a lot to cover in my shows. There's like so many things that I've talked about in the years. And years and years and years and years and years. So there's like so many things that they basically talked about everything. To everything. You could even imagine. Windows, basically. Especially updates, especially. And, oh yeah, and one other thing I used to discuss is music. I talked a lot about music half of the time. In episode 18, I think it was episode 19, Easter Day special of 2017, I discussed, a plan for Microsoft Sam Reed's YouTube comments, my version, which I still, for some reason, have not done. I also discussed Go Animate, and then I discussed TV shows like Cops and stuff I watched. So there's like so many things that I've done over that year, and so much to know that I've done. And it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And sometimes, instead of having it called Bryce Talk Show, I just said Bryce Talk Show, because, you know, why? It makes better sense, really. So, yeah, that's pretty much my whole entire story. Now, I do have some old episodes from like 2 episodes from December, and a few episodes from January and February. So, they're all on GoProSplice.com. So, because I still have the shared link that I made unlisted. Well, they're always unlisted. You can't change that. But there's a lot of episodes that I've done. So there you got the whole history behind this phenomenon. And it all started 2 years ago. In 3 days. So, no. That's my story. Also, now that we're done talking about that, I think that my show has been doing a lot of things. A lot of things happened during this show. A lot of discussions. And some fun things that took place. And if I end up do that, put my transmitter in I could probably just talk on my talk show using that. But I've also played some of my episodes from YouTube on my transmitter on, was it Tuesday? Yeah, it was Tuesday. So, yeah. Well, that's pretty much my whole discussion. And I hope you enjoyed the episode. And if you really like it, then make sure to subscribe. And if you haven't already, make sure to like and share the video so we can get more people. And I hope you have a great summer and day and night. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe and all that jazz. So yes. And also, if you haven't already checked out my website, then that's all I have to say. And if you enjoy the video, like and share.
You feel like Steve McQueen when you're driving in your car, and you think you look
Peace
like
out.